In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that you have to think about before getting food sensitivity testing, and my last thought on how to prevent food sensitivities from coming back. So make sure you watch until the end. My name is Noor Zibde. I am a functional and integrative dietitian. I help people overcome food sensitivities, digestive disorders, inflammatory conditions, and manage autoimmune conditions through diet, lifestyle, and supplements by optimizing gut health and using advanced testing and personalized plan. What do you need to know about food sensitivity testing before you make an investment in a test and be disappointed? So the first thing is we need to know what are the symptoms associated with food sensitivities, who would actually benefit from this kind of information. So food sensitivity symptoms can be anywhere in the body. So digestive, for example, can be gas, bloating, stomach or intestinal cramping, loose stool, diarrhea, and acid reflux. They can be anywhere in the body. So starting from top to bottom, you can have headaches and migraines, brain fog, memory issues, trouble focusing, chronic fatigue and low energy, skin issues like itching, hives, eczema, psoriasis, or rosacea, joint and muscle pain, such as like fibromyalgia or unknown reason for the pain. You may have an autoimmune condition predisposes people to having food sensitivities, things like rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, and others. If you have an inflammatory bowel condition such as Crohn's or colitis, people with histamine issues or mast cell issues can have food sensitivities. Also, if you have a lot of allergies, whether they're seasonal allergies or food-related allergies, it's an indication that your immune system is hyperactive and could possibly develop food sensitivities. So they can manifest everywhere in the body, not just in the gut, not just in the skin, and they're very different than food allergies. So if you have any of these symptoms, definitely you should be thinking of food sensitivities as one of the reasons why you are feeling the way you're feeling. Number 2, you need to know that not every food sensitivity test is going to give valid and useful information. So when it comes to food sensitivities, which are different than allergies, food sensitivities usually have 2 immune pathways. So I'm going to be very simple when I describe them. There is one pathway where the immune cells produce antibodies, and then another pathway, we call that cell-mediated immune response. Food sensitivities tend to be mostly cell-mediated immune response. And in this case, the immune cells, when they see food that they don't like, that they suspect it's like causing a problem, they're going to release their immune content or the immune mediators or chemicals, such as histamine, cytokines, leukotrienes, and others, in the response to fight the food. They don't produce antibodies at all, and these account for the majority of food sensitivities. Now, what happens is a lot of the tests on the market, or maybe tests that are ordered by doctors or things that you find online, are measuring antibodies, IgG or IgA testing. Now, the problem with these is 2 things. They don't account for the cell-mediated tests. Well, what if your immune system is reacting to the food without producing an antibody? It's just the cells are opening up, releasing their chemical content, fighting the food, and there's no antibodies involved. Testing for antibodies is going to miss 50%, if not even more, of the picture, so you're not going to get the data or the full data that you're looking for. Also, there are a very big opinion that IgGs, like just the presence of antibodies or your immune cells producing antibodies, does not necessarily connect to an inflammatory response in the body. So that means that your immune cells are producing antibodies, which are like flags or markers to say, hey, I'm seeing this food is coming in often. So they're creating antibodies to the proteins found in food, but that does not necessarily mean the antibodies are doing anything negative or causing any health or ill effects or symptoms. Unfortunately, as I said, IgG tests are usually the ones used by doctors, whether conventional or functional medicine doctors, and a lot of tests online that if you go and search for them, they may not be accurate testing. So it's important to test for mediators. And when I first started working with clients, I used to work with any test that they had, make a comprehensive plan based on IgG tests, and to work with a test that my clients had. And unfortunately, we didn't really get results. I've done that with several people, but there were no results, no improvement in symptoms. So I quit doing this, and now I only only work with the tests that are looking for a full immune response or mediator response as opposed to antibodies, and I've been doing this for more than 10 years with great results. So just keep in mind that not every test is going to be valid and give you accurate information. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe, because I know there are people looking for this information, so you just make it easier for people like you to get the information that they need. Now, the third thing you keep in mind is that a test is not just like a magic wand that you swish and then you get immediate result. With food sensitivity testing, the magic really happens when you apply the information properly. And that's why we say always work with a medical provider, preferably a dietitian or nutritionist trained in food sensitivity plans. When I get a result for one of my clients, I'm taking a look at their immune responses to food, and I have to account for chemicals, natural chemicals found in food, and I also have to look at their symptoms and their medical conditions. And I'm going to combine those together. So if someone has acid reflux, gas, bloating, an autoimmune condition, or a histamine issue, all of these things need to be integrated in the best plan that I'm giving to my clients. So it's not just about one thing, it's part of a puzzle when it comes to meal planning to lower inflammation, to address food sensitivities and the overall symptoms. And then it's also not just about the foods that you take out. So what happens with a lot of times when people get food sensitivity testing done is that they're told by their doctor or medical provider, you're reacting to like corn and mango, and I'm just gonna randomly pick things, right? And eggs. So stop eating corn, mango, and eggs. But the typical person is eating hundreds of foods over the course of a day or 3 days. And I'm saying 3 days because something you eat today could show a response or an immune reaction up to 72 hours from now. So anything, an immune response can show up 72 hours later. And on average, you may be eating 30, 50, 100 different things a day, and that depends on what you're currently eating. So if you're eating outside, or even just look at the energy bars or like healthy foods that you're eating, combine every single spice or herb and oil and preservative and inactive ingredient in supplements and medications, and the average person may be eating 50 different things in a day, and everything can last 3 days. So on an average of a 72-hour period, you could be your immune system could be exposed to at least 150 things. So if there is not a process and a system for introducing foods and picking the foods that are going to be best for your overall symptoms, it is really going to be hard to identify what's the problem. So taking foods out is not enough. It's more about, okay, what are the foods that are going to be safe to eat based on your food sensitivity and everything else that we know about your health. And I'm going to give you a basket, and you're going to make meals from this basket of foods as if you're doing a cooking show. And these are the foods that we're going to put on your plate, and then these are the foods that you're going to make meals from and eat. Nothing else until we have a system and a process for reintroducing things. So it's not about what you take out, it's about what you put on your plate. So these are the main 3 things you need to know. That is it going to help the symptoms that you have, and not every test is going to give you valid and useful information, and you need to know and work with someone who can help you apply the information properly. Now, the thing that I have to always talk about whenever I talk about food sensitivities is that it is not normal to live off an elimination diet for food sensitivities. It is not healthy. It's not normal to have a lot of things that you cannot tolerate. So food sensitivities don't just happen out of nowhere. They are a result of other things that are happening in your health. So maybe you have problems in digestion, maybe motility issues or dysbiosis or infections. Maybe things were kind of shaky, but you were okay, and then you got a viral infection and it threw off all your immune system. So the goal is to build digestion and gut resilience. You need your gut to be resilient, to be able to handle a few things here and there, and to eat overall like healthy, but not have to stress and worry about every single food that you put in your mouth. So in order to get to that, we have to address the root causes. Like, why did you develop food sensitivities from the beginning? Repair and reverse these issues so that you can have flexibility and freedom when it comes to your food choices. And that's why when I work with people, we start with food sensitivities, but we're taking the next steps to make sure that we're addressing these root causes. If you're interested in food sensitivity testing and a complete gut repair program, take a look at the link in the description. I'm going to share a link for working with me and what it's like. And you can also book a strategy and assessment session if you are interested in seeing how that applies to you. And we can do a mini assessment and see what your symptoms are. And I'll share with you the best plan moving forward, keeping in mind that food sensitivity test that I utilize is only available in the US and Canada. So that's not available for other international clients, but I do help those clients with addressing the root causes. So if you're anywhere outside of the US or Canada, feel free to reach out as well. And if you have other questions, write me in the comments. You guys have been great with a lot of questions, so I'm going to come back and do my best to answer them. I hope this was helpful for now, and I'll see you on the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.